Well, hello and welcome everybody. It's been some time, but there's a GRL podcast again appearing on the horizon. Our GRL talks episodes have been pretty rare in the last few weeks, so we've decided to switch it up a bit and do another GRL podcast episode. And unlike previously, I'm not just going through the results and the standings because most of you can all see that in the server anyway. So if you're not in, just join the server. It's in our description. And I'm here today with the one and only man who can manage the good old Williams racing team in GRL, and that is TriangularLemon. Welcome
Hello.
to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I think, yeah, you weren't part of that GRL Talks episode, so that is generally the first time I think you're on the YouTube channel of GRL. And yeah, I mean, I think to start this off, basically, I would like to ask how generally do you class your team's performance and the progress you've had this season? Because you're now sitting fifth midway through the season. How do you think has it gone so far?
Well, it started off so brilliantly. So I came in not knowing really anyone in the league. To be honest, I didn't know very much. I did a bit of research, but didn't really know who was consistent or who just got a bit lucky to race and stuff like that. Came out of the draft and everyone kind of told me, "You've made some fucking howlers of decisions." Sorry, you've made some howlers of decisions. Um, going through into the season, we went through week one, came second. Went through week two, we're first in the points on that week. It looked really, really good. After that, had a couple of bad weeks. We'll mix it through that. I think, though, overall, we are strong.
Yeah, I mean
But
it looked, especially at the start, it looked really competitive. First 2 weeks, I think, were pretty strong because all of your drivers scored well. I think Lloyd picked up a win as well in the opening round. It looked very strong, but do you think it's just gone away from you, or others have improved a bit more, or where do you think maybe you missed out a little bit with Williams?
it's a mix because a lot of drivers have made a lot more changes than I have. I've kind of stuck with my core group. I don't regret making that decision. I'm happy that I've
Yeah,
stuck with the guys I've stuck with. But they've made their improvements. A lot of teams have got better, but other teams have gotten worse. I've kind of stayed the same. As well as a lot of our drivers have just had a lot of inconsistent moments in recent weeks. They're not getting the most they can out of results that they really should be getting. It's been a bit unlucky.
yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's just part of the TP job. Something I also wanted to pick up on. I mean, you've been team owner in multiple leagues, I know, since 2020, I think. So what I wanted to ask is how is your approach to the TO role actually switched since you started doing it back in the day? Because it's been a couple of years now, and how have you kind of developed your skills, you think?
Yeah, well, if we're saying like 2021, 2020 is when I was doing my first team owner thing. Would have been what 17 at the time. So it's easy. Like a lot definitely has changed in me as a person as well as me as a TM. I was very much a team of vibes who happened to get lucky in a lot of leagues previously. I picked people I like. I picked people I felt like picking, and it happened to work out for me. I think now I'm looking at much more of like I want to do well. I want to win things, which I always wanted to before, but now that's the sole mission. I want to win. I want to do well. I want to get the drivers that are going to help the team do well as well as do well themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I said, I mean, obviously the main target will always be winning, no? But I think you have to kind of balance out between who you trust, but then at the same time, who's the right one to perform when you need it, because I feel like often in leagues with a TP or TO system or philosophy, um, if you solely rely on people, you know you maybe miss out on others that could perform better, but you're not aiming to be that risky in picking them, no? Because you
Yeah,
you only focus on a certain group of people. You can't scout everyone in a league.
absolutely correct. You don't want to focus on the people you know. There's many other opportunities to pick throughout different things that people have taken. well advantage of that, which has really done a lot for me going in towards the second half of the season. I picked in two people who had just joined the league, who hadn't raced before in the league, who I've never seen race before. But I heard from good word that these guys are good as well. People know them, said they were going to be quick, and I've gone for them for that kind of reason. I've also ended up picking drivers based off not what they can do on track, but what else they can do. I picked Div 5 to go with Lemon. I know these guys know each other, they're close, so that's going to be good chemistry there. I picked two Div 4 drivers that are really good mates in real life as well, both quite quick. Again, you're going to get good chemistry. They also want to race with each other. It's these kind of things that I think have really made Williams kind of a home for a lot of people here.
Yeah, I mean, you must be quite happy as you picked up on Lancey. I mean, he's just had his debut at Hungary, now after the break, and I think he's got himself a podium as well. I think third, or was it fourth? I can't fully remember, but I think you must be very happy about that debut, because it's always like, hopefully you've done the right thing and picked the right driver.
Yeah, absolutely. It ended up being third. He got a penalty removed and ended up finishing in third. Yeah, absolutely incredible. I don't know if it's marked attendance this week, so I'm hoping he does. I'd like to see him race again, if at all
Yeah,
possible. I'll check him out for you.
I
He
mean, they're
has
not.
marked, so we have him in for this week.
Oh yes, that is important. Well, the penalty removal wasn't certainly the only one, because EA decided we'll make a patch and they'll make the game worse by glitching out the track limits. So can't wait to see all the tickets for penalty removals next week as well. That'll be very nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so as TO, you're basically on the second highest rank in the league, because obviously you have the staff, the admins, and then already the team owners, because the feedback of you guys is very important to us. So something I really like to ask when talking to team owners is, if you had a wild card basically for a change to the league you could make just that because you can, you reckon in what department would that be, or what would it involve?
It's weird because I was thinking about this earlier today. A change that I'm not sure necessarily if I'm fully on board with, but one thing
Mhm.
I thought about is not allowing reserves give points to their teams. You have to trust people who are going to be consistently there instead of a driver who just shows up once, gets you a win, and then backs off for a while. You need people who are going to be around. I think that could be interesting, although it's not based on real life. It also
Yeah,
will destroy a lot of teams. I like the idea of it.
yeah, I think that's something also we talked about before, that the reserves obviously can or do affect the championship, whether they score or not. So yeah, I think that's a good point. I'm not thinking of discussing it here, because otherwise we'll do a 24-hour one probably. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is that I've thought about that myself before, but obviously for a reserve driver, it probably will be a bit less attractive if they score for a team, but mainly they'll race for themselves. So that's just basically on whichever fence you sit on. But yeah, certainly I think that's a good choice for the wild card you could go for. And an interesting one as well. We've also got these driver contracts. Obviously, we've made at the start of the season where you can choose a half a season, a 1 season, or a 2 season contract. And I can't fully remember if you've actually signed someone for 2 seasons. But if you could keep one of your drivers going into the next season, no matter what contract you've given them now, you reckon who would that individual be? Who's your favorite Williams driver, basically?
Now, okay. I said before, this is, I love all my guys. You guys are all amazing. Love you all. You're so. Please don't leave. Please, please don't leave me. Um, but as I said, I like drivers not just for what they can do on the track, but what they do off the track. And I don't know if I've informed you on how much I've been like. So another one of my drivers has been cooperating me, helping me in other ways. And also, he does stats, and I love stats. And he does stats. He's really good for doing stats. But he's helped me with signing a lot of drivers. He's made me recommendations. He's told me when he thinks people are underperforming. He's active, talks every week, asks how they're doing. We're basically running the team as a duo. Obviously, I make the final decision, but I would call him my assistant manager,
Yeah,
and that would even be an understatement. And that is the other Lemon.
I knew it. Yeah, I mean, he loves his stats as well, doesn't he? I've
He
seen
does.
that.
He does indeed.
I mean, stats are basically what F1 relies on, doesn't it? Because it's all about stats and data. But yeah, I mean, it's also looking at the Williams server. It looks very active, especially between you two. Um, Vitamin C is certainly used in the Williams team. But yeah, I mean, it's his debut season as well, so it was a positive surprise really that he's that active. And I mean, he's not doing too bad in Division 5 as well, from what I've seen. Like, he's having some good top 6 results, I think. He's not quite got a podium yet, I believe, but especially
Yeah,
since Canada, I think he's got a good run, or even China. Which is obviously good. I mean, we'll keep him motivated and we'll make you happy because he scores a lot of points.
absolutely. The issue with him is he told me at the start of the season. He let me know this at the beginning. He had a holiday this week. He had a holiday this week. He had a holiday this week. He's missing this week again, which I knew about when he first signed. He told me he'd be away for this week
Yeah.
to get in good reserves. So I think that's what's kind of brought him a little bit further down in the championship than he probably is pace wise. I know he's quick. He's providing a lot for that, but he also provides so much apart from that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, he's eighth in the championship and he's scored every race since Zandvoort, which I think replaced Bahrain. Yeah, that was round 4. In the first 3 rounds, he missed out. But since then, he always got 10 points, 13 points, 13 points again, 3 points and 10 points, sits on 56 points and is in 8th. So I guess that's certainly not too bad because Division 5 especially seemed quite split at the start of the season with the 2 Ferraris scoring a lot. Now the V Cups are certainly there. So, and he is, I mean, yeah, he's Lance's teammate now, isn't he? So, um, yeah, I think they're certainly a good duo so far. And as you said, I mean, he helps out in management as well. That certainly makes up for the few points he probably missed out on. Um,
Absolutely.
Looking at all the different divisions, which one do you think still, after we've now completed 8 rounds, is the toughest to call if you signed the perfect 2 drivers for your team? Like, who do you still think? Which division is like, this is so close? I don't know. Maybe I could have made a better choice in draft or in the transfer window.
A very good question. Well, obviously, I made the wrong choices in one division. Um, like that was the completely wrong choice to go with Division 4. I've now got 2 new guys in.
You
My
have.
2 draft guys for Div 4, yeah. 2 draft guys from Div 4, they didn't stick around. I ended up getting a friend in for a couple of races, and
Yeah,
then he's
you
off away.
had, yeah, oh yeah, you had Riley, right? Who
Yeah,
was the main issue, as harsh as it sounds. He just did not
yeah.
attend, basically.
Started on the show. Yeah.
And who was the other one you had at the start?
Turbo Chris, who won and then got moved up immediately.
Oh yes, that was, yeah, that was painful. I mean,
Oh, he was so good. He won in Div 3.
yeah, he won in Div 3. Was it V Cup? Was like I think he was the quickest driver at one point in Division 3. Then he dropped, so he left V Carb. I asked him, why did you stop? He said, like, oh, I've got football on Monday. It's like, oh, that's a shame. This week, I look at the driver contracts. He's joined Aston Martin. Why? Why have you got a seat?
Very
My
funny
football
cars to
training
manage
got
as well.
switched again. I mean, he's that's the hat trick of teams.
They've got a lot of money at Aston Martin. You could influence them.
Oh yes, I mean, he said he turned line off, so I think he'll not be on his peak performance. But I think I would even take to over Chris with no line because I think he'll still be very good. Well, yeah, I mean, you could have signed him, couldn't you, when he got up to D3, but Gilles was just a few minutes faster.
Yeah, that was after the reserve race, but I quite like my Div 3 lineup. Lloyd has been doing really good. He's got unlucky in a couple of races, but doing very solid. And Freedom has also been
Yeah,
really getting inconsistent week after week.
they've been very solid for sure. I mean, last week I saw, and I mean, Lloyd was not enjoying us Ferraris last week. I can tell you that, because I sent him from miles back, and then he just sent it into Jammy. So
Yeah, I did hear about that. You did tell me about that.
I
Not
mean,
so lucky about it.
Jammy messaged me after the race. I said, like, was that me or where's Lloyd come from? I was like, I'll show you my clip. If you don't, if you want to avoid contact, you should have probably not turned for the corner. But yeah, it was an interesting one. I mean, they sorted it out in chat, I think, or in DMs, and there's been no ticket, which is good. I think Lloyd certainly got good pace this game, and I mean he said he likes this game a lot because he loves understeer, which is an interesting approach. I think I know what he means, but
Yeah,
uh,
interesting way to say it anyway.
I like when my car does not turn at all. It's amazing. But
Yeah.
I mean,
To
yeah,
answer your
he's
question, really, should I answer the actual question you answered because I didn't end up answering it?
yeah. Continue.
my
Feel free.
my toughest decision. I had two tough decisions. This is going into the transfer window. Nothing really happened with the draft. I was very happy with my draft. The toughest decisions came in Div 5 and Div 6 with replacing two of my drivers.
Div 5 and
One
Div
of them was
6. Div 6 was yourself.
yeah, Div 6 was myself. I had to decide between that. I knew the guy I wanted. If I wanted someone in Div 6, I ended up getting him and looked pretty solid with the P9 in Hungary. And in Div 5, I really had to spend a while deliberating with myself whether I wanted to get someone new, which I ended up doing, or to stick with Tolo, who I don't think was a bad driver by all accounts.
Yeah, I think Tolo is all. I talked about with someone else the other day. I said like Tolo is pace wise probably not too far off a top three result, but I feel like the consistency is just for him right now a bit of a problem. I mean, I guess on wheel also the dirty air times can be tricky because obviously you don't the traction is a bit more based on muscle memory than it is on pad. So I think he just if he sorts the consistency out, then I think he is certainly a very good driver. But I think that just comes over time. I think he got himself a load cell as well, which should hopefully help him when it comes to consistency. But yeah, I certainly know what you mean. I mean, I was in the TO spot as well a few seasons ago, and you've just got to make those choices at the time. And I
Yeah,
mean, as we said previously, I mean, you've got Lancine now, who in the first race already showed that you've not done the worst of picks there. So,
yeah,
um,
could have definitely been worse.
yeah, could have also been better, you know. But it was a very good pick for sure. As you mentioned, you're replacing yourself with Genchi um as you raced in Division 6 yourself and you replaced yourself with Genchi now alongside Simon. Genchi was obviously Williams' team owner before you, like literally the 2 seasons before. Uh, when you signed him, did you solely just look at his performance as a reserve, or did him being at Williams for quite a bit of time before also play a part in signing him?
Time at Williams was he's only reserved twice so far this season until he raced for me.
Yeah.
Both of those were replacing me.
Oh,
Both of his drives were swapped out for me reserving. I couldn't race that week. He raced for me.
yeah. I
Um,
didn't check that one.
and
That's interesting.
yeah, every single race he raced, which is baffling to me. I said this earlier. How he didn't get spots when he's a very good driver is. So actually, no, sorry, I lied. He did race in the UK, not for me. My best race of the season. He didn't race for me then. But the two after that, he was with me.
Yeah, I mean, he
So
scored.
I picked him.
He scored the top, like he was in the top 10 every time, I think. So
Yeah, he's
yeah,
only 6 points behind me. Like now.
yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah, he's
indeed
won that
true.
race and he's 6 points behind. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you should have replaced yourself after Silverstone.
Yeah, but we had a couple of unlucky ones in the mix, but a couple of very lucky ones as well. No, yeah, I originally signed him in as a reserve because I know he was similar enough to my pace, and I had just come off a P4, so I kind of was like, oh wait, I'm just amazing now, and he's the same as me, so surely we're gonna be great. And that Williams thing, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of just booted you out of your own team. Do you want to come race for your own team again? Which he was happy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I said I think Genchi is certainly one of the few people that didn't get the seat at the start. That was a bit sad to see from a neutral perspective because he's not done bad in previous seasons as well. He's just not been a front runner. And I think the bottom division this season is pretty decent. Just looking at the races, So yeah, it was pretty sad to see. So it's good that he's back now with a seat. Staying on to Division 6 now is overall in that championship. It looks to be a battle between Jimmy, Beneboy, and Gilles basically. As you've raced her as well, who do you think out of those three could come out on top from your experience? And why do you think is it exactly those three that basically separate themselves from the rest? I think you probably have more inside knowledge on that than a couple of others not racing in Division 6.
Yeah, they Well, the thing about them, they drive very differently to one another. They have very different styles and very different things they're good at, which would make them seem like the front runner in the like they're the best at this thing. They're all the best at one specific thing, or one of them is kind of neutral.
Yeah.
So Giles is very, very consistent. Very consistent. He knows how to drive. He's got incredible racecraft. Really good driver. Beneboy's rapid, and if he's ahead of you, he's probably going to stay ahead of you. And if he's behind you, he's probably going to get past. But it's just he might have maybe like slightly wide in qualifying, end up a bit further back, not being able to catch up as much, or have a little spin in the race and be caught back up and not able to get back up and do that. Then you come to Jimmy, who was rapid. I haven't seen Jimmy all season. I haven't seen him. And there's times where I'm at the front. Every race I've done well, actually, I'm lying. I'm looking at things now. I'm dead wrong. I just don't remember seeing him. I don't think I've raced him. I haven't been near him for the majority of the season. I think the only time I saw him really was Silverstone. And after that, I haven't really seen him at all. But he comes back with just podium, 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 podium.
Yeah. He loves that bronze medal. Four times third place.
That's just, yeah. Can drivers stay consistent? Can people keep up the pace? Or is it going to be the person who will consistently get your P3 going to win the championship? I couldn't pick between, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. What it looks like from the outside as well. It looks like Beneboy on pure pace is the quickest, but I don't know if now he has also turned off TC. But I know Charles has turned TC, I think, back on, and now he's quicker than before. So I don't know what has happened there, but he is one hungry. So he's now got himself into the mix. I think Woody with turning off TC for this season, he's not in it anymore. The Saubers are there or thereabout. I mean, they either first or they crash, I feel like. Kieran looked like Kieran got pole by 6/10, I think, this week at Hungary, and he retired or something. No, he's got 1 point.
Yeah. It was 5.5 tenths he was ahead by, and then got a point in the end. Simon Death, who also crashed.
When I saw that qualifying, I was like, why did we demote him? No point. But then I saw the race result and was a bit happier. It's not happy he did badly, but
I was.
I mean, you're racing Sauber in the OCC, so I think that is not too bad. And yeah, basically to close this off a bit is currently you're sitting fourth in the OCC, behind Ferrari's obviously leading, and also behind VCarb and Sauber. The gap to second now is just over 100 points in second VCarb. Is second still the goal for you to get second in the OCC, or where does your target for the second half of the season lie, in your opinion? What do you want to achieve to end the season somewhat confident and happy?
Second is absolutely the goal for overall. I want that Div 3 championship, personally. I want the team standings. I want the team Div 3 championship. I think that's easily attainable. We're really pushing with that and talking to the guys a lot about it. That's one thing I really want. The trophy is more important than a second. I know I'm an Arsenal fan or not, wearing an Arsenal jersey right now. We don't want second, okay?
Well, it will be difficult to replicate the PL season where you don't lose a single time.
Yeah, it would be tough. So yeah, I think second is absolutely attainable. We just get a couple of good weeks on our belts. A couple of drivers decide to keep it on the track or out of the backsides of other cars. I know they're all nice and wing and all that, but keep the nose at the backside. And I think we could easily get second. I know Racing Bulls look very, very good.
Yeah,
Not
Shield
scared of them.
seemingly loves his second place in the OCC, to be fair.
Yeah,
He did it last season. I think he's aiming for it again. I mean, I think he wants to win, but I think another team has something to say about that.
happens when you turn up the champions.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Ferrari, maybe they get their old strategists back, and we just do full stops every race. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm already missing Vegas. I'm not trying to screw myself up even more. But yeah, in the OCC, I mean, obviously, as you said, you focus on Vika, who is second, and Sauber, who are only a few points ahead. Is there someone behind you reckon that could pose a threat? Because looking at it, it is so close between second and eighth in particular. Like, you're not miles ahead of Haas in eighth. That's less than 100 points as well. You reckon anyone behind there could pose a threat, or you think you've got the edge on all of them, basically?
I think we're better than most of them. There's a couple I'm definitely not scared about that I don't really know if I should say. There's a couple I'm not scared about, and there's a couple that I think could.
Give me names.
Well, I think Mercedes look strong. They're obviously very, very close. I think they look alright. I'm not scared about Alpine.
I would not be scared about Alpine either.
I'm not scared of Alpine. They have one driver, to be honest.
They have take you. They have take you,
Yeah, they have TQB. Yeah, great driver, but I don't think you're gonna beat up my team, especially if we start performing properly. Red Bull, that's a tough one to call.
I think Red Bull is one of the ones that either get a 1-2 or something, or they've got an awful race.
Yeah, it's very. I've seen them. They do a lot like what we do, where you just have like 1 week we're like second in for the week, and another week we're ninth, and then we're last, and then we're back to being like third. So I think they're the same as us. I'm a little bit looking at that. Haas also, they have a good Div 6 team anyway now. If
They
we
do,
can
yeah.
put performance again, they have a good Div 6 team. After that, they have a couple of good drivers. I did try to steal a couple of them in the transfer window. But yeah, I still think we have the edge. I think we have the edge over all of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a good OCC position would certainly, as I just at this point assume you will try to be TP again next season. A good OCC position obviously will guarantee yourself better picks in the draft. So I think at least you'll try your best. I think if you, as you said, fight for the Division 3 constructors, that will also help a lot. Because I think because I've got my spreadsheet somewhere, I'm not finding that now, that's for sure. Williams has always been solid in the lower divisions, but in the higher divisions they have somewhat struggled. But I think this season it's actually looking pretty nice because as I said, in Div 3 they're fighting for first. In Div 2 you're fifth, which is not all too bad. Just you can certainly get V Cup there because you're only like 15 points off them. I think Division 1 could be the problem. Yes, you're 8th there. But still, the gap's not massive. Like, you're 8th with 83 points, and Ripple's 4th with 113.
Yeah, just the change. We had a driver cancel on me after race 1, and there's just constant reserves after reserves. And the reserves put in good performances, but sometimes they didn't.
Yeah.
And I like having Elche back in. I think he's going to be solid enough for us now to end the season. And so I'm really liking Sausage Joe as well. He's sort of qualifying in the Navy ground.
Yeah, Sausage Joe had a great start to the season himself, but I think then it just showed that Wheels just at the top level has such an advantage that it was difficult for him to make it up. I mean, if he's still, where is he? Yeah, he's 5th in the championship. That's the best he's ever been. So it's probably better than he's ever performed.
Lovely race from last week as well. I loved doing comps for that. It was beautiful watching him drive through.
Oh yeah, it was another big DRS train, wasn't it? At least at the start. I watched the start. At the end, it split up a little bit.
He was in the little pack on his own.
Yeah, I mean,
someone got murdered. I don't know how there were no tickets in Div 1. I'm gonna be honest.
There were no, there were. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna go into that any further. That's just classic F1. They probably didn't kill too much, but yeah. Then let's scroll down. Let's have a bit of a look at the how Williams did lower there. Yeah, in Div 4, you're eighth, but also not too far off fourth again. In Division 5, it's sixth. That's basically, yeah, you're around fifth overall. That sums it up nicely. You're like sixth, fourth, and Division 6,
Yeah.
fourth as well, yeah. 100 points off, but probably fourth. That's where Red Bull is lacking, for example. But yeah, I mean, that is basically that. We have talked for a half an hour. That's perfect time. And
Indeed.
yeah, thank you for being here for this podcast. I hope we talk to each other soon again, maybe when Pat is back with his GRL Talks episodes. And yeah, I mean, see you all soon.